Talks with Temarah
and Brooke.
Episode 43, guys.
Yes. How you doing, Temarah?
I'm doing excellent. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you, Dani?
I'm well, thank you, ladies. How are you?
We are good. Thank you for being here.
Right, so we got a special guest, but I'm going to hand it over today to Brooke. Introduce our special guest, Dani.
Right. We have the honor of having my best friend Danielle Lowe on the show, aka Dani, aka the Reiki master, tarot card reader, lawyer, activist, naturalist, alles all in one. A woman of power, to say the least. But let's not give everything away. So guys, for those of you that don't know, myself and Dani studied at Stellenbosch University. And let's just say I've seen her through the transformative years of our lives, you know, back in 2010, 2011 till today. And she's been, you know, transforming, evolving as a woman, as a person in her own right. So let us know, let's start at Stellenbosch, right?
Okay.
What did you study and what was the first path that you took?
Yeah, okay. Ladies, thank you for having me here tonight. Yeah, so I will never forget. Can I actually just say when I met Brooke?
Take us back.
I met Brooke and we were in a ladies' residence called Erika.
Erika.
And
Still?
yes, ladies, yes. And I saw this little girl. Well, we were young.
We were young.
And I saw this fresh-faced little girl, and I'm like, are you my sister? Because I saw someone who looked like me in a way, you know. And I'm a mixed-race person, and I came from George, and I didn't see many mixed-race people. So when I saw Brooke, I'm like, you're going to be my friend.
Yeah, me and you.
We're going to be friends. Yeah, so I came to Stellenbosch in 2011 and I wanted to study psychology.
Okay.
The whole thing was I always wanted to help. I always wanted to help people. I always felt misunderstood as a teenager, as a child. So I was like, okay, I need to be able to do something that can assist other people who might feel misunderstood. Right?
Got you.
So first year came and it was lovely. It was very lovely. We had a lot of fun.
Times.
Listen, this altijd lente,
Yes.
as they say. We had a lot of fun. But then sociology, actually, I did sociology as a subject. And it's okay. I just did 1 year of social, but that 1 year was enough to like blast open my head.
Okay.
And we looked at things like all the constructs that we create: race, we create gender, we create religion, and we create, what was it? Culture.
Yeah.
So like the 4 constructs.
I'm
like, oh, sweetie, taking you back now.
Please don't make me fall science.
But for me, that was such a formative. That was like the moment for me where I was like, psychology is maybe only looking at like the individual, and especially how Stellenbosch presented it. I felt like, this is not enough. You can't just say the individual is wrong for getting depression or for getting anxiety or for having an issue. You must look at the society that's creating the conditions to determine or to create this depression or anxiety in the person.
100%.
So that's why I started looking a bit broader then at, okay, so what are the societal conditions, the structures, the things that are creating these traumas and deficient people. Well, that made me move over to law.
Okay.
So that's when I shifted to law.
All right.
And let's just say, guys, I had to work hard for
trials
that
and
degree.
tribulations.
I had to work hard for that degree, but I'm proud to say that I got it. And I ended up studying a BA law and psychology and English, and then the LLB. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, no, thank you for sharing that. Oh, I know I've heard many stories about Stellenbosch and first years in Tanrata. But in other news, I believe you've been doing human rights law for about 8 years, and that's a significant time to be doing that. So it's again well done to you. Tell me, what kind of cases were you working on at the time?
Yes, so property or land is always like this theme that's been revolving in my life.
Okay.
So growing up in George, my grandfather and them were dispossessed of land. As we know, this is the colored
theme,
story.
yes.
All right.
The person of color story in South Africa is this thing of dispossession of land. And so I heard this, and it sort of stuck with me as a child. Then when I came to Stellenbosch and I was doing law, I was like, okay, well, the reason why I'm doing law is not so that I can go work in a big corporate and go do mergers and acquisitions and contract law. That would have been so boring to me.
Okay.
So I decided, okay, well, the reason why I'm studying this thing is to be of service yet again. Yeah? So there's that theme from psychology now to more society. Yeah. So the type of law that I then found myself doing was protection from eviction.
Okay.
So I was working at the Stellenbosch University Law Clinic, and there I was assisting a lot of people, a lot of farm workers, a lot of people who are, a lot of people who are even illiterate and they can't even read the contracts or the letters that the boss puts in front of them, and
of course,
then they are forced to sign. They sign, and then okay, tomorrow you must be out. And they didn't even know what they were signing. So that's the type of stuff we were doing. It was quite hectic, guys. Yeah,
very hectic.
Was also doing a lot of abuse cases, domestic violence, harassment, and that sort of thing. Then I moved to Cape Town, and at Cape Town I was working at a NGO. NGO also working in the land and housing space, and specifically this NGO was looking at how to undo spatial injustice. So if we think of Cape Town is actually where apartheid got perfected because of how our mountains, our sea, our rivers, everything was used as like natural barriers. Like if you think of even the side of the mountain, like the Atlantic seaboard versus the side, there's such a stark difference in the type of people that even live on the Atlantic seaboard versus in the south, all of that. So you that's what I was doing. And so there again, I was doing protection from eviction, as well as now the more like forward-looking stuff, which is, okay, how can we now get the city, the government to build more affordable housing in well-located areas? So that was the whole thing. We looked at, for instance, how you get, these Rondebosch, King David, Mowbray golf courses, huge, right?
Yeah, which could be used for housing.
For like a mix. Let's create like something nice. Create a mixed-use development. We have some shops. We have some housing. There's some work. People can live, work, and play in the same vicinity. That was the whole refrain. Because now we're getting people bused in 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers away. Your time, where's your time, guys? You work, you go home, it's
all the time.
Yeah. Exactly. That's stress on the body. You must go work, you must go make food at home. So the whole thing was, getting people into the center. Then I found myself also working with a lot of people finding themselves on the street. So people experiencing homelessness. That was a large part of my work. There we were challenging the City of Cape Town bylaws that say that, listen, if you are homeless, basically, then you're going to be disproportionate, you're going to be fined, you're going to be incarcerated. Homeless people are 11 times more likely to be incarcerated than formally housed people, So, and that was also during the thick of COVID, so...
She was working overtime, I can tell you this.
While people were baking sourdoughs, I was there on the streets, I was getting burnt out. And that's also there, however, when my spiritual awakening started. So let me leave it there for now.
All right. Okay. Well, and I mean, on the point of, like you said, golf course and all these, like, say, posh areas that we could be using to make things better for other people, isn't it maybe, not that I know, maybe one of the golf course in Observatory where they just put the whole Amazon section, there are like apartments or developments happening there. So is that something along those lines?
Yeah. So I mean, that is a very controversial development, actually.
Got you,
So it's like, so it's like there were a lot of environmental impact assessments, heritage assessments that were done that actually showed that, listen, you guys are going to build in a floodplain. So why invest in a floodplain when your building is going to start sinking into the river, right? There was also a large outcry from the indigenous community, which said that, listen, this land is sacred land. You can't be building this, commercial entity there. However, there were also others that said, listen, this development is going to create jobs. It's going to create, commerce. It's going to create a hub. So it is quite a controversial and sensitive topic. But I would say that, using pieces of land closer to the city, right? Because we know that in apartheid people were the flats, the Kailicha, everything was on the outskirts of the peripheries. And now what we also see when the city evicts people, they have created Wolverine, which is like 30-40 kilometers, Lucky Store. So they're doing the same thing, right? So apartheid hasn't ended, I would say. It has changed. Different. Exactly. It has changed. It's a different iteration. Colonialism hasn't ended. It's a different iteration. We are still experiencing, we are still living in colonized construct.
So, Dani, as someone that's known you through all the phases, when did you start feeling like there was another or different path that started calling you? Was it gradual or was it just like a specific moment?
Okay. No, thank you for that question. I think like I've always felt that there was something more. Like I've always felt different, obviously, as you guys have heard. And yeah, I think then, however, it started, like my spiritual awakening started, I would say, in 2019, when I finally got out of my job, which was hectic at the law clinic. And then I got a year where I did my master's. And it was in that time where I was actually able to have a bit of free time. We're speaking about this thing of time. Time as a currency, time as energy. And I had some time for the first time. And when I sat with myself, no distractions, it was quiet, no boyfriends, nothing. I realized, there's a deep wall of sadness. There's a deep, deep wall of sadness and depression that is sitting within me. And so I first had to feel, and then through that feeling, I was then spurred on to create or to obtain ways in which I could alleviate it. And one of the things that I think it was you and Zaida, we went and did hot yoga.
Yes.
And that I'm telling you, it sounds cliche, yoga, but it was yoga for me. It was hot yoga.
Nice.
It was five free sessions.
Yes.
And it was, we were sweating.
Do you remember what happened?
What happened?
Friend, this is one of the most embarrassing things.
I know.
I better get it out. It's hot. And we like did it back and they're making us do all these movements. Breathe in, and then down, and then down. And something down, I just said,
wasn't you?
It was me, and the girl was behind me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
What was released?
Listen, they were body odors. It's fine, my friend. We just went
no
on.
judge.
Yeah,
We're listening, no judge.
Yes.
But okay, so it was yoga for you, and that's where you
yoga.
activated some feelings and thoughts, and it just took
it was basically like this thing of like, okay, what happens when my nervous system gets regulated? So, like, it felt new. I was like, who is this person?
It's like you came into your own power. That's what I keep, whenever I look at her, I think of, she owned her power. She so this is now who I am. I'm done with people taking advantage of me, whether it be family members or friends or partners. She literally took a stand and was like, no, I'm gonna do this. And that was inspiring.
Thank you, my friend.
Because only the time, only the energy that maybe you were lacking, that you were just giving so much off.
Exactly.
That time you got back, or you just were able to cultivate that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Exactly. No, amazing. I'm really inspired by the conversation. Tell me, you also mentioned that you describe yourself as a bridge between white and black, or being seen and unseen. Can you maybe unpack that a little for us?
All right. Okay, sure. So, how I see, what I mean by a bridge, I think, yes, there's the mixed race element, right, which I've navigated my entire existence, my entire life. When society wants you to choose one thing. Yeah. Exactly. And when you are sort of on the outskirts of that thing, then you are judged, you are ridiculed, you are bullied. Yeah. I experienced all of that at school.
Same difference.
Exactly. And so, so I suppose then in my later years, and this only came maybe a few years ago, but I started leaning into that difference. I've started leaning into that duality that I carry. And I'm seeing that as well. There's a reason why I was made. There's a reason why God made me this way. You know,
Exactly.
it's not an accident.
Definitely not.
And so, so I suppose when I started leaning into that, that's when I started just becoming more comfortable with myself. You know, I was just like, okay, well, it is what it is. I'm here now.
It's
Let's
not
make
like
the
I can
best
go
of
talk
it. You know, and in my life, I've wanted to be both. I wanted to be darker at one point. I wanted to be lighter. I wanted to have other hair. I wanted to have, you know. But I feel like that's also the universal woman story.
Yeah.
If not just the mixed race woman story, I feel like it's also like woman. And I think this is part of my message at the moment is just that, listen, the feminine is rising. The feminine is
I
rising.
hear that. I see you posting.
Yeah.
I hear you saying this all. What do you mean when you say that?
Okay, thanks. Yo, I mean so much, ne? So, if we even go back to the land issue, so the indigenous people throughout the world always conceived of land as terra. Terra means land, and madre, so Mother Earth.
Mother Earth.
Ne? But colonialists viewed land as what? Terra nullius. No man's land, nothing land that is devoid of anything. So you see how that ideology, that difference in ideology is what shaped literally that is what they based their that was the justification for colonization, was their ideology of land. Right? So it's like, okay, if we then go back to this concept of land as a mother, right? What does that mean? Like if we think of the ocean, when we think of the ocean, what gender comes up?
Mother, female,
exactly.
Mother Nature.
The moon, what comes up?
Mother.
Exactly.
Female.
So we are in a cosmology, I believe, that is exceptionally feminine. And if we even look at the earth's soil, what happens? You plant a seed, you cultivate it, something grows.
Yeah.
What happens to our wombs? You plant a seed.
Yes.
Thank you, men. You plant a seed.
No,
The right
girls,
one, though.
Yeah.
You know, must come. But yeah, they plant a seed, something can grow.
Exactly.
So
Only
it's-
we can do that.
Exactly. So the earth has that capacity to create for us. And however, she's been raped, guys. She's been oppressed. She's been neglected. And she is saying no more. She is saying no more. Her daughters are rising. We are her earth stewards. We are her warriors. We are here to speak on her behalf. And all she wants to do is love us. Look at her. She's still providing.
us,
She's
yeah.
still giving us food, even though they're bombing in Palestine.
Places, yeah.
Even though they polluting the rivers. She is still, the rivers keep flowing. The food keeps growing. You know, so, but she's also like, listen, part of the feminine is also the dark feminine, the Kali energy, which is like, guys. So there's gonna come a time when I'm gonna have to come and destroy. You know? So if we look at how the Hindu people see this as the dark ages, ne? So it's like if there's like 4 different ages of time. Golden, you get your silver, your bronze, and then your iron, which is the dark ages. And basically a lot of people say that we are now in that. And if you look around, you can see we are in that.
We can see the signs. We can see.
You know? But after the dark must come the light again. So it's always a circle, right? So Mother Earth is like, it's time now. You guys have done enough. Let's move on. I'm here. I want to offer you. And Mother Earth is all about abundance, guys. There's no such thing as scarcity. But the system in which we operate, capitalism, patriarchy, it creates fear of scarcity, fear of not having enough. So what do? We just keep grinding. We keep doing it.
Society.
You know?
And I mean,
So,
with that being said, it's definitely very profound, but also if we just look at South Africa as a whole and how we're in the limelight today. And if people were looking down on South Africa, apartheid, this, we are actually elevating South Africa, and we are the motherland of the entire world. So I mean, with what you say, look at that connection as well.
Yes, for sure. There's that origin point here, which if we look at, the oldest people are the sand people, the Bushman people. There is the cosmology of the sand. Sadly, we've forgotten a lot of it.
Definitely.
And that is, they lived in harmony with the earth. They lived in balance with the earth.
Didn't take too much.
Exactly, took enough and then moved on, nomadic. Let's move, let's go and explore, So there's this this thing now also about returning to the ancient ways, returning to that indigenous knowledge, but applying it for it to be fit for purpose for obviously for today, right? But things like, for instance, when we speak about matricentric governance, what does that mean?
Yeah,
what is that? That means communities, indigenous communities like the San, as well as communities in Native American communities in the US of A, their governance was matricentric. So that means mothers, our societies revolve around mothers and making sure that mothers are protected, well fed, taken care of, because if mothers are taken care of, the entire society will be taken care of.
Yeah.
So we see how that has been inverted through capitalism.
Yeah.
Through democracy.
Yeah.
It's been so inverted to a point where mothers are, especially black women, brown women, our mothers are domestic workers. Our mothers are they don't even have pension funds. They don't
most
have
vulnerable.
So it's like the role of the mother, especially the black mother, the brown mother, she's been relegated to the bottom. But actually, she is the knowledge holder. Exactly, she is the divine feminine oracle, the divine feminine wisdom keeper. And as her daughters, we are here for that reason. And I believe that's why I'm here, to unearth that history, to make sense of it for myself first and foremost, and then to put it in a package that the rest of my community can engage with it. The rest of the rest of the society can engage with it and learn more.
That's actually really great, because these conversations are deep, it's engaging, it's inspiring. And I just feel like women should connect more like that, because this is actually like, it really makes me feel sitting here now, like I want to do something more feminine or more empowering and something that's impactful. So thank you so much for sharing your...
No, it definitely starts with yourself, and then of course it's a ripple effect. And I mean, with starting with yourself, touch on the base of your healing journey. Tell us, what was that process like, and what did you need to heal for yourself? If you don't mind disclosing that.
Yeah, so Temarah, so as I mentioned, it was this thing of like, coming into my body.
Your time, the energy.
So it was the yoga first and foremost, of moving the body. So I think being like I was a student for a long time, sitting at a desk, going through law books, psychology books, and finally, here's an opportunity to do some yoga, and then I think and then becoming more aware, becoming more conscious of everything that I do. So the yoga helped me become more conscious of what I eat. So I became a vegetarian for about 3 years. This is because, I was like, okay, I won't go into that whole thing, but the whole point is...
She eats meat now.
I eat meat now, yes. But I try to understand where the meat comes from, and I also like halal meats, But anyway, so the whole thing is, trying to... just get more into the body instead of so in the mind. I think a lot of us, we live in our minds. The mind is chattering, the monkey mind, so if you can just go into your body, stretch it a bit, move it a bit through dance, we even did pole dancing. Remember?
Pole dancing together.
Many of us blow. Like I didn't realize that. Yeah, but it was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
Like we were strong and we were
the core, lovely.
Yeah, so it's just like liquor. It was just liquor to express and to start expressing, and then also things like understanding different healing modalities like the Reiki, as well as the tarot cards and the oracle cards, which is actually something that I now do for other people. Yeah. So
with those three things, like how is it connected? What are the benefits?
Yeah, so I think it's all about presence. So all three of those things are about being present and where you are, being present in the moment, being present with what you're doing. I think there's so many distractions coming our way. So many, our phones, music, lyrics can get stuck in your head, and I'm like, why is this lyric stuck in my head? What else? Where's my, what I'm saying? So then you have to go back to your own, what is my own voice? So it's this continuous like returning back into presence, falling back into the body, coming back into stillness, and meditation, And I know that it sounds like meditation, you have to go. No, it can also just be just a few moments in the morning, a few moments in the car, even, just where you just can breathe, become aware of your breath, become aware of your surroundings. And then you like, I can hear the birds. Wow, I can smell. What is that smell? You just become aware of things, and that's the beauty. And then you realize, well, this is it. This is what it's all about. This is being here.
That's living in the moment.
Exactly.
Really taking in your surroundings, and then by doing that, you can actually find yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
Cool. So on that, on Reiki tarot card reading. So how long have you been doing that for? Let's because that's your business now, something you're passionate about, right?
Yeah.
So tell us, what is tarot card reading? What is Reiki? For those that listen that really don't know. I mean, would you be here tarot card reading? Okay, what's my future? I'm gonna be rich or not?
She did it to me, and it's amazing. Like, I promise
lovely.
you,
I've never experienced it.
It was so informative, especially in the time that I was doing it, and kind of just opened my eyes into the direction that I had to go. So that was a really good moment for me.
I should give it a go.
For sure. I will share my Instagram and my TikTok details.
Definitely.
At the end. So
how long and what inspired you all this? Yeah, what is it all about?
So let's start with tarot and oracle.
Okay.
So you know what? It was a sort of in 2021, I lived in a house with two other ladies.
Okay.
You know Rune.
Yes.
Two lovely witchy ladies as well. And the one lady had a tarot deck.
Okay.
She had been overseas in South Korea doing some teaching of English, and she brought this deck with. And so we would sit with it, we would play with it in the lounge, we would ask some questions. And so it started like that. Then for was it my 30th birthday? Yeah, I think it was my 30th birthday in 2021. I don't even know. Doesn't matter. But for my birthday, two of my friends got me my oracle deck, which is my most beloved, beautiful, precious, sacred rebels oracle deck.
Okay.
And the oracle deck is more of a softer form. So the tarot originated in I believe the 16th or the 15th or somewhere 15th, 16th or 17th century in Europe. So it's a form of divination. So it's something that you work with, and you connect with your higher power. So you connect with your higher power. You can also connect to your ancestors. You can connect to your higher self, and you then, you get into that meditative state. You get into a form of stillness, because we must also treat these things with respect. You must create a safe environment for it to start using it, because when you work with the spiritual realm, it's not just beautiful. There are other entities who want to suck you. They want to suck you dry. They want to latch onto you. They want to they're coming with that, as we would say, like an evil eye type of thing. So you have to create that safe container before you start using it. So so then you shuffle it. And you ask a series of questions. You can ask, and obviously I do it for myself a lot. So how I do it is, I usually have an intention or a question in mind, and then I'm like, okay, get still and let's ask these questions. And so usually the cards will jump out. So that would be spirit kicking the cards out for you. And sometimes if the cards don't jump out, then you can put it in a spread, and it's often with your left hand, because the left hand is also the hand that's very connected to your heart. That's why we put the ring on this finger. It's directly connected to the heart, so it's also the more feminine side. So you put your cards down, and then you use your intuition. So it's all about your intuition.
Oh, and I believe in that.
100%. And the intuition is the feminine knowledge. And and we've been taught mostly in the logical brain. But it's time for us to merge both, because we have both. We are logical, but we're also intuitive, and if we work together, imagine how powerful we can be.
Exactly.
So that's how I got into the tarot with the Reiki, with the energy healing. So that started because I started experiencing an ancestral calling in 2021. So through my ancestral calling in 2021 was where I many things were told to me and taught to me, also through my dreams. One of the things being, listen, you need to work with your hands, you need to work with energy. And so I then started Googling, energy healing through hands, and then Reiki pops up. And so that's how Reiki came about. Obviously, there were also my own sets of doubts. Was like, is this my culture? Can I use it? Trying to be very respectful with it. But I, you consult your spirit team and you ask, listen, is it respectful of me to do this? And the message I got was, yes, this is a nice foundation, because I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. I wanted to understand what's what. And so and so I did the course. It was lovely. And now when I do Reiki, so I did level 1, level 2, and advanced. So I'm not a master,
not yet.
The master is the last thingy. But I believe that I don't need to go for the mastering. I
will come to you.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. I've made it my own. I work with the cards. I work with the Reiki. I have a lovely massage bed. I create a beautiful space for you. I make it nice and comfortable. And last year I lived in Genadendal.
Okay.
And I was doing my Reiki there from a beautiful clay studio.
Oh wow.
And it was stunning because we had the river. You could hear the river as you were laying there. You could hear
more
the birds,
energy,
the trees. So yeah.
And tell me, so when people do find you on social media, they got a question, how do they go about booking you? Do they send you just an inbox? What's maybe the price range of it, or can they come with you with any question? What's the process for this booking system?
Okay, no thanks, Temarah. So I'm on TikTok.
Okay.
And my TikTok is Yel'al's Hearth. And essentially, the hearth is the home. So hearth is another word for home, or for the front of a fireplace. So it's like this warm, cozy, secure space. And and then the other name I have for myself is Yel'al, which is a name which essentially encompasses, all these different sides of me, all these different, this bridge, So Yel'al's Hearth, that's where it comes from. And so Yel'al's Hearth, you can find me on TikTok. DM me. There is also a little poster that I've created with my different offerings.
Okay.
First one being the Reiki healing. The second one being Oracle Tarot card reading. And the last one is intuitive guidance. Let's have a chat. Let's see how I can assist you. Let's just have some tea and let's talk. So or it can also be a combination of all three of those things. So I would have loved to just have more people, available when I was on my journey, at the start of my journey. And I believe that, as women, we have to be there for each other.
She's been a woman in my life and it's been lovely.
And you for me, and so I just feel like, yes, if there's anyone who feels like anything that I might have said, stood out for them, or they have any questions, or they feel like, me too, a little bit, call me, contact me.
In touch with you.
Let's chat.
And tell me, if someone goes to your TikTok now, I've of course checked your TikTok out, and I do see you have some readings and you have some very inspiring things to say. How should one take those messages? Is that message maybe for somebody of another reading, or can we just look at it and find a good answer out of it?
Okay. No, so that is something I started called Cards for the Collective.
Okay, yes, I saw that, sorry.
So it's essentially so it's essentially my reading. I start at the beginning of the week.
Okay.
And I asked Spirit, I'm like, okay, so what is it that the collective needs to know for this week? So that's how that started. And then I shuffle with my Sacred Rebels Oracle deck, and I see what comes out, and that's how I've been doing it. Yeah.
And you're very well spoken on there. I was like, girls making moves here. It starts your own TikTok, and it's really inspiring, as all your aspects in your life are.
Thank you.
Lovely. And tell me, for someone that's on a healing path, maybe something similar to you, or maybe something way different, what would you like them to know into this week's collective cards?
Sure. Sorry, I'm gonna burp.
No problem.
No, that's the ancestors, guys. That's the spirit, yeah.
Okay. Good question
then. Thank you. So what do they need to know?
If they want to start some kind of learning journey.
So if ever there was a time to change things up, it is now. You guys know we had a blue moon.
A red moon, yes, blood moon.
A blood moon, yes.
A red moon, that comes once in a blue moon. So we had this red blood moon. Okay. And that moon is all about endings and beginnings. So especially if we think about, guys, have you ever seen something like that? I've never seen something like that. I don't think I have.
I've seen the blood. Is it once a year that it comes? Or once?
No, it's much
It's less years, yeah. No?
It's because I thought I saw like
Maybe
a
7
blood
years or
moon
something,
last-
that number.
But
kind of thing.
I swear to you, I've seen a blood moon before.
No?
And it
Interesting.
feels like it was like last year, but it
Huh.
can't.
Well,
like,
maybe you're right. I don't know. I'm not sure. But
okay.
all I know is that it is a significant moment, right?
Mm.
Also, if we look at 2025, we are in the year of, so 2 plus
Hello.
2 plus 5 is 9. So
Yes.
we're in a 9 year.
Yeah.
Incidentally, today is the 9th of the 9th.
Yes,
So
I do know
that's
that.
another thing.
Nine.
And the 9 is the number of finality, of completion, right? It's the snake year in the
Yes, the Chinese, there we go, I knew that.
Exactly, we have the snake.
Yes.
I carry the snake here. The snake's energy and wisdom is very potent. So it's basically saying, guys, let's take off the skin that no longer serves
Yes.
and let us emerge with our new skin. And also, when we are in that, when we've taken it off and now we're in our new skin, it's going to feel a bit weird. We're going to have a bit of like, ooh, but it's like, you're going to get there. Just keep embodying. Think about the reality you want to envision. Think about the vibration that you want to hold and just keep doing it. Affirmations. I'm a believer in affirmations. Listening to positive songs. I'm actually busy creating a playlist now of inspirational, divine feminine.
Guys, she sings. She can sing.
Nice.
So
Lovely.
that's for another podcast, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna create that. I'm gonna put that on my TikTok as well. If you want to listen to a nice upbeat and inspirational feminine playlist. So yeah,
The time is now to
the
change.
time is now to change, Temarah. To answer your question, that is the thing. Yes.
Okay, no, lovely. Wow. Inspiring. I've never been so close to somebody of this amateur card readings, tarot readings, and Reiki. In all honesty, I think I should give it a go. My mother actually, I think I tried it once or twice, but I think maybe you're the one to go.
Yeah, I think with Dani, she allows you to feel comfortable. She creates a safe environment.
Yes, also just to say, I'm in two places, so I can do these services. I do these services from Tableview as well as from Rondebosch East. So,
There we go.
but also online. So yeah, there's options.
Hit her up, guys.
Guys, that's Dani. If you're not inspired today, I don't know what's going to get you inspired yet. I'm very inspired. Actually, there's quite a good energy in the room. But yeah, thank you so much for your time and your energy.
Thank you, my ladies.
Very welcoming.
Listen, it's so inspiring to see two beautiful young ladies doing this thing. Episode 43. And you
That's
guys
it.
also have day jobs and
Yes.
you're doing this. You see
Exactly.
how we it's like we have to go for our dreams. We have to go
100%.
for what's in our heart, what we know we want to do. And I'm really proud of you ladies as well.
Man,
We
thank
appreciate it.
Thank
We
you for your
appreciate
kind words.
You're
And thank you
welcome.
again for being on our podcast.
So
we really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank
We
you.
do. Guys, episode 43. Thank you, Dani. And from our side, we say life is good regardless. Bye.
Bye.